introduce you, all that good stuff.
All right, cool. I'm here for
Dude, our first rapper. Look at us, Victor.
We fucking made it, dude.
it.
That
It's
was on my
lit.
bingo card for 2024.
It's lit.
All right, we're up on Twitch. YouTube will take a minute.
Let me pop up Twitch to make sure it looks good on my end.
Yep, actually, we're good on both.
Dude, our first Yeah? rapper. Look at us, Victor.
You go ahead and check though. It's all good.
I like to log in so I can see the chat. I can't see YouTube. So,
Uh-oh.
no, I
You want
mean,
me to?
like,
You want to send me a link so I can look?
I mean, like, you can watch the chat. That is essentially what you want to do. So,
How do I get to the YouTube joint? Oh, I can just go to your IG. Yeah. Hold on.
Yeah, it should be on there. We have a link tree now, so we're
Oh
cooking.
shit, y'all legit.
Yeah, you know.
Feel me? YouTube stream. It's lit. Boom.
look at us on Twitch. There
Oh,
you
it
go.
says live. Let's fucking go.
We're live.
Yeah, we're live. So, Victor, you said we were live on YouTube already?
We're good.
All right. Dudes. Well, looks like, I don't know, you ready to get started?
I'm ready, baby.
Oh fucking yeah.
All right. This is the first time we're starting on time, guys. Boom.
Oh shit.
All right.
You're welcome.
Yeah. On time. All right. Let me go ahead and go here. All right. We are live.
Hey.
Dude, it's another one. You made it. We're back after a week off. I'm Mark,
I'm Vic.
and we are To Live and Talk in LA. It feels good after a week off, right? I feel refreshed, recharged.
I missed it.
I missed it, right?
It was a
Does
nice
it
week away though.
It was a nice week away. But to make up for the week that we took off for Valentine's Day, I'll affectionately call it VD, we brought you a guest. We brought you a heavy hitter guest, quite honestly. I'm looking
right.
at the camera when I say that because we were streaming live on Twitch and YouTube now because we're big boys. We got our dude Science in the house. What's up, my man?
What's good? Peace, peace. Yeah, how y'all feeling? Good to be here, man.
So good, man.
Man,
Hell yeah.
if you guys don't know, you're about to know. Science is our dude and rapper, hip hop artiste, whatever you want to call it. Dude puts on bangers. We'll probably put some songs on like through the show. We'll dissect your music. I'm just kidding. We won't do that. But honestly, check out the music because the one thing I'm gonna bitch for a second because
Do it, bro.
Victor,
Here we
you're
go.
Spotify. I'm
Mhm.
Apple Music, and I just want parody in Apple Music and Spotify. I don't like when you do the recap for the year. I have to go to an external site. It feels fucking low production. And I said, okay, we're getting Science on. We're getting with the Z because I'm trying to be cool like that. And I know Victor doesn't use Apple Music. He uses Spotify. So I have Spotify. I open it up and I send him the music, and the first thing I see, it gives me how many followers Science has. So that's when I was like, oh, this shit's legit, dude.
Mhm.
And I was like, I don't see
You get
this
the
on Apple
stats.
Music. Like
Yeah.
you can actually see it on Spotify, and I got
Yeah.
fucking pissed off.
Yeah.
I was, and then my heart dropped because I was like, yo, this guy has fans. This
Low
guy's
key. Low
yeah.
key.
People show
So
up to listen to this guy. That's a big deal, dude.
It's
people
kind of
show
crazy.
up. I mean,
It's a blessing.
I knew it was serious when you posted your recap, like because as an artist you can see how many people listen to you, and you're like, and I see those numbers, and I'm like, all right, we get like 5 viewers in like, over 6 months. So this is kind of like a big deal to have someone of your stature on the show, dude. So holy crap, man.
Oh, shit.
That's gotta feel
Yeah.
good, man, huh? Do you get those numbers at the end of the year? Is it like a surprise? Or do you see them
Mm.
trickling in? How does that work?
Well, those specific numbers for Spotify, you only get to see those at the end of the year.
Hmm.
But like the monthly listeners, you get to kind of see engage. And also Spotify has like an Spotify artist thing that lets you see how you're doing, how many folks joined and follow you and all that kind of stuff. So it's kind of cool.
That's dope.
It's dope, but you got to stay humble. You know what I mean?
For sure. The
You
journey's never
gotta-
over. It's always
The
more
journey's
people to get
never
to.
over. Yeah,
if
yeah.
if we have like 50 subscribers, I'm being insufferable.
You say that right now.
Yeah, I'm insufferable now. If I had 50 people who I knew checked in, oh, dude, all bets are off. I'm like, don't no eye contact with this guy. Don't do that. Um, but I am impressed, and
Thank you,
like,
my G.
not only am I impressed, but dude, you got dope music, and
Appreciate that, yo.
we'll kind of go behind the scenes on that too. But
Oh yeah.
I was listening to your music, and a couple of things, Victor, and I'm sure he did his homework too. But it's not often, and Victor knows this, and we've talked about this too over the show, which is I don't like listening to new music anymore. I feel like I've capped off,
This is
and
true. He's hit his limit. This
Mm.
guy.
I,
He's
I,
pretty sad.
I'm an iPod Classic at 160 gigs, and I can only
That's
listen
it.
to 3LW and Oasis and Wonderwall over and over again, and I can't really compute new music. And I came across your music, and I'm like, okay, that's actually kind of dope. And there's only 4 artists in my Apple Music that I favorited, and who fucking knows if you see it because I don't see it.
I don't see it.
It goes nowhere.
Apple Music,
It goes into the abyss.
It still
the
means
abyss.
something though.
Yeah, and no, it's bangers, man. Quite
I
honestly,
appreciate that, G.
yeah, and so I am a fan, through and
Thank
through.
you. Thank you. I appreciate that, my G. I love doing this shit, you know. I can curse on here, right?
For sure.
Dude.
Please.
Fuck. Got it out.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. Now we're good to go.
And there's a couple things I wanted to bring to the table. So you're from New York.
Brooklyn, baby. East Flatbush, 90s. I got to
So-
say that whole sentence every time.
That was
no
so
matter
New
where I'm
York.
at.
I don't even know what
I could
that meant.
be
That's I don't understand.
90s block, baby. Yeah,
Oh,
I got to
shit.
do the whole thing. You feel me?
Okay,
Yeah.
Victor, let's do the math here. So say it one more time. So give us the
He
give us
just
the
gave us the
tagline.
coordinates.
Yeah.
I got you. New York, Brooklyn, baby. East Flatbush, 90s.
East
Right?
Flatbush.
Those are the coordinates. If you know,
Okay.
you know.
Okay, so Victor, we're gonna do an LA huddle here.
Mhm.
I think one, he's from New York and Brooklyn.
That's probably right.
Okay, I feel like Flatbush in 90 is the intersection of where he posts up. That's what I'm thinking.
You think
That
he's describing like a corner?
yeah, a corner that he kicks it at, or there's dope bacon, egg, and cheese because I know these New Yorkers love their bacon, egg, and cheese, and that's where he represents.
Hey, I tell you what, we love a bacon, egg, and cheese. I still haven't found a great one out here in LA. I don't know. To live and talk in LA, we need to talk about that.
Damn,
me?
maybe we
'Cause
can
I'm living
find
out
him
here.
some locations. I'd be getting a bacon, egg, and cheese. I don't know if it stands up to New York though, because I've never had a bacon, egg, and cheese over there.
Is it $3?
No, it is not. Nothing is $3.
I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I want to
Yeah.
go to Primo. I want to go to Primo. I want to go to the bodega. I want to give him a pound, and I want him to make me a bacon, egg, and cheese, salt, pepper, ketchup, and that's it on a roll. And then I'm gone in 5 minutes.
That's gonna be hard to find out here, dude. There's a line
Yeah.
everywhere.
I
We can
feel
try
it.
it.
I went to Egg Slut, and there's a bacon, egg, and cheese, and I think it's about like $17, and you're probably paying for the accoutrements separately, and it's
Accoutrement.
super expensive. Yeah,
fuck that.
I,
Fuck that.
I'm always here's the thing about New York that always surprises me is it's an expensive city. You know, you live in assuming that it's like it has to be expensive, especially like for what you pay for what you live because New York you can only go up. You can't spread out. You're on
Right.
an island, right?
Right.
But for a place that is what you hear is expensive, the food is fucking cheap. I don't understand that at all. You can
It
walk.
it depends.
It depends.
It depends. The food is cheap. Like the $3 joints that I'm talking about, you find in the hood, right? You're not finding
Mhm.
that everywhere. We're not going to Manhattan unless we go to the Lower East Side where you know Poppy and you can get that. You know, but like I honestly I feel like everything in terms of pricing is almost the same as like LA, bro. In terms of like living and all the other things, but I feel like New York has these like nice little intricacies and nuances, like the $3 bacon, egg, and cheese, like the beef patty, like the Caribbean neighborhoods where you can actually get oxtail for like $10 instead of $32 like out here.
Oxtail's
I mean,
coming up, dude. Oxtail used to be nobody cared, and now
Bruh,
they're
I always
expensive again.
cared. I always cared. We always cared about the oxtail. I don't know if
Wow.
LA cared though.
People out here do now. I've never bought or used, but I've heard actually people talking about how expensive oxtail is now. So This is like
Bruh.
passing through the culture, dude. It's fucked up.
It's wild. It's
Well,
wild. I don't even eat it if it costs like a certain amount out here, out of principle. You know.
There you go, as you should.
well, that's me and avocado. I'm not paying extra for avocado out of principle. I think avocado is fine, but for a place where avocado is a California produce, why am I paying the same thing for someone in New York to get avocado and guacamole?
Have you
Why is it a
checked
little
New
weird?
York prices?
No, but if I'm paying extra, why do I have to
Chip-
pay that much?
Maybe it's
We
even
we
more.
talking about
over
Chipotle? We talking about Chipotle? Or
I'm
we
He's
talking
talking
about
about
everything.
Chipotle. He's talking
It's the same shit.
Yeah. That's not fair, dude. I'm in fucking LA paying the same price for some dude in New York, Brooklyn. Shout out, baby. Flatbush, 90s,
90s.
right?
You
Yeah, 90. Yeah, see?
Oh,
See,
yeah.
that's
East
what I'm talking about.
Flatbush.
And I'm paying the same
East
thing as
Flatbush,
that dude
baby.
over there, and I
Right.
don't like that.
That's
They-
true. You're paying per shipping.
Yeah,
That's
and
not
that's
right.
not
Oof.
right.
Oof.
Victor, have you been to New York?
No, it's on my
Oh,
list.
you haven't been,
I
dude. We
haven't
should
been
go.
to like the big cities. I need to go.
What's up with that?
I don't know. I'm not actually like a big world
changed.
traveler, dude. Like every time I go, like my family will plan like a big trip and we'll go, but it's always to like Mexico or like a resort or something, and that's fine. But I think that I'm more of like a city boy. I want to go to like London or something, or like somewhere where you could just kind of wander around. I get tired of the beach, which sounds weird, but it's true.
No, fuck the beach.
Fuck
You know,
the
I
beach.
can only do the
Thank
beach
you.
for like 2 days, and I'm like, okay, that's enough. dude.
Yeah.
Now, we need to go to New York. You, me, Science. We'll bring one of our dudes, and we'll be Sex in the City. Quite honestly, I think that's the play
down.
because
Wait.
New York is a okay. And
Who's who?
you can
Who's
spot.
who?
Oh, I'm Carrie. Just
You're
to say.
Carrie.
Yeah.
All right. Who are
Yeah.
you, Victor?
I don't have a strong opinion about Sex in the City, so I'll just take whatever y'all don't want, dude. You guys can live your
Alright.
fantasy.
I
I'll be
feel like
whoever.
I'll be Charlotte. Charlotte's my girl. She's chill. She's clean. You can be like Miranda, bro. Like you can be Miranda. Yeah, Miranda. Victor.
Nobody wants
we're-
Miranda, huh? Miranda's a bad one.
That's the lawyer, right?
I don't know, dude. I just have that shit chambered. 'cause
Am I sharing too much? That was my shit, bro.
That was real. That was from the heart, dude. He knows
Yeah.
their names.
That
I can
shit-
appreciate that.
that shit was my shit, bro.
But New York, there are so many thoughts I have about it, and this is where I get pissed off at LA. One is the transit kind of thing. The fact that I have to drive or take 20 buses to get to where I need to go absolutely sucks. In New York, and you can attest to this, Science, if this is true or not, but everyone swears by the train to the point where they identify and they judge people by the trains they take.
We know exactly where you going and where you from based on
Yeah.
them trains.
Damn, we could just size them up like that, huh?
Size them up. Oh, you on the M line? I don't know, bro. You a little sketch.
Sus.
A little sus daddy.
See, our equivalent of judging people is the area code.
That are,
Oh,
like, freeway numbers. I was gonna say.
Yeah. Because we don't do freeways. Yeah,
Ah.
freeways you could end up in so many different places. The five you could be anywhere from San Francisco all the way to Glendale, all the way to Anaheim. It means nothing. So we judge people based on the area code. So, Victor, I'm thinking of an area code right now that we look down upon, and I actually don't have any pen or paper. I'm gonna write it on my iPad right here, and before you say it, I want to see if we're simpatico here.
I think
Which
I know what
is-
you're gonna say, but I'm not gonna debase myself here.
No, what we're going to do is all you need to say is like, what's the area code we judge? And I wrote it down. I locked it in, and I'm going to show the screen. Hopefully, it reads right here. But what is the area code we judge the most here in SoCal?
I'm gonna say 661.
Oh, that's yours. No, I didn't even. Jamal,
That's not mine.
Yeah, we did. It's I can't even
Can't
see
show.
it. My studio.
Is it 323?
No, it's 909.
909. Really?
That's IE. We judge that. We're like, I don't know, dude.
I.e.
Well, I think the problem with 661 Science, it's Palmdale. We don't think about Palmdale.
I don't
Nobody
even know what that
does.
is.
There you go. See?
You're not missing much.
Yeah.
That's where I
Never
came
been
from.
here.
The
Okay.
310 where you're like, oh, okay, that's kind of an area like that might be fancy. You could be anywhere from Beverly Hills to Santa Monica. That's fancy. 818. Your boys
They're
818.
fine. Yeah, I'm
They're
818.
Yeah. 213 was sketchy for a while, but I think it's coming up.
Everything's
Where's that
coming.
at?
213 is like East Side LA downtown. Because now Highland Park, Eagle Rock,
The
those are cool
hipsters are
places.
Eagle
going there.
Rock.
Yeah, I know Science hits up Highland Park. He knows what's up
All
with that.
day. What do you mean?
You guys can
All
hang out, and be
day.
hipsters together. Like, I feel like that's the jam. I do want to ask you about what was it like to open for Rakim?
Ooh,
Like,
shit. That
because
was
this happened about a couple months ago. I feel like or in mid
yeah, buddy.
2023, and you
Mid
opened
when the
for
fuck
Rakim
was that? I think that was November,
November.
right? I think it was November.
It was
So if we're,
November.
I think it was November. It was fucking amazing, man. And shout out to my man DJ Kevlar for holding it down and hooking that shit up. Me and King Out Divine, who's my partner in crime, we're Divine Science together. King Out
Mhm.
Divine Science. We had our own like trailer, bro. Like it was they treated us so fucking good down in the OC. I think it was like down in the OC. It was so fucking fire. We had our own trailer. They treated us like royalty. The sound was amazing. It was a little hectic right before we got on stage to get everything kind of set up, but once we got on there, it was smooth. The crowd was fire. They were feeling it. Folks brought vinyl and CDs for me to sign and for us to sign. It was real ill. And getting to meet Rakim, he's so fucking humble and dope to watch. I learned a lot.
That's
It's
like,
fucking
I mean,
amazing.
Was that a big
Rock.
crowd?
Yeah,
Yeah, it was a big crowd. It was good. And a lot of homies from like NoHo and out here came out there too. And it was love. Yeah, it was really dope.
Nice.
that's how you know
Yeah,
it's
hell yeah.
because it was in Orange County. It's true love when someone from North Hollywood goes up to fucking Orange County and it's not for
That's a
Disneyland.
big deal, dude.
Yeah, that's a big
You
deal.
feel me? You feel me? So I
Yeah.
gave them a great show. You know, it was fire. Yeah.
What is it? Because I saw clips from it and
Mm-hmm.
I I want to know from your perspective because I've never done anything that big. You know,
Oh,
cheap plug. I do
that's
stand
what
up.
she said. Sorry.
Yeah, exactly. And
Had to.
I've done shows where it's relatively big, but it's in a comedy club. So when you
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
do a show in that kind of big venue,
Yeah.
walk us through that. What is it like leading up to it, and what is it like when you're actively
Oof.
performing on stage?
Honestly, I find more intimate spaces make me more nervous
Hmm.
at this
Mm.
point in time. So like the big show, like, and me and Divine came out here and we were like, yo, honestly, we've been rocking for years. And when he came out here, we didn't go over our set list until maybe the day of. Like we just knew, all right, you had your lyrics, you got the beats, you know what you're building. This is what we're gonna do. We had the set list together and we just went on and did the thing. But like in terms of how nervous we might have felt prior because it was a big show, we were more excited. Right. But like the nervousness stays the same regardless of like what kind of show we're doing.
Right.
And I could admit, like, I'm more nervous if I know I'm doing like some like real intimate, so far sounds type shit where they're hearing every little thing and it's like 60 people and it's like all eyes on you, no distractions. But like when it's the big joints, I love those, man. It's lit. Like it's like I'm less nervous to do them. You go on stage and you just kind of black out and you see all the people in the fucking crowd cheering and rocking and it's lit.
Everybody's more hype. It probably makes you feel better. I
Everybody,
think that's
yeah, it makes me
easier to
feel
go
better.
with.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it's not always so easy to get the crowd hype no matter how many folks are in the crowd, but when you just bring them some good shit, you bring them good energy, you talk to them, like, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing that me and King I always studied and actually took time to do. We were doing shows for a minute, as I said, and like you go on stage and then you blink and then it's over and you're kind of like, I don't really know. I don't know if I was present enough. I don't know if I talked to the crowd enough. We just know we did the gig. At this point in time, you just want to get the numbers and like we did that gig, we did this gig. But then we were like very intentional, like, yo, bro, take time. Like let's see what the fuck is up when you're out there. You're gonna be a little bit more nervous, but like let's have space and time, right?
Right.
And we started doing that shit a minute ago. And so when we rock these big stages, it's like we'll have a plan, kind of, but then like the plan goes out the window. And then we develop a new plan that's more organic when we're on stage together. And I think like the crowd loves that. Our big thing is literally just like making everyone comfortable in the room, period. And that's when they can kind of like let loose and like get wild and scream shit and all that type of shit, right? When
Mm.
like when you're watching folks on stage and it's kind of like you can either be like, yo, I hope this person doesn't fuck up. If that's their friend, you're like, I hope they don't fuck up. And like you have that, like that, you're just
That
You're
watching
energy.
for
worried
that.
for them.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
can't, yeah, and you can't like really enjoy it. But like when someone comes on stage and you literally feel like, oh shit, like they made me feel comfortable, like I'm in my living room, like we're all sharing this space and this time, and you can just sit the fuck back and enjoy the show.
I'd never considered that about live music is the crowd work, you know? Like you're talking
It's
about
when you
cuz
make it seamless,
yeah.
that's the goal. Yeah.
Because I mean, Mark is a comedian. Crowd work's the whole other field of study. You know, you got to figure out how to deal with people.
That's it.
But I think that's
That's
probably
it.
true. Like I've been to shows where the artist is doing their music and it's fine, but like it feels kind of boring or it's kind of low energy. There's something weird. I think it's that's important. So that's something you guys had to focus on, or did you just like practice over a while? You
We
got
had
used
to
to it.
focus on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had to focus on that. It was like we can, of course, you can go on stage and play your 10 records one after the other, and then you can leave, which is what we used to do back in the day.
Hmm.
But then, like, the awkward, fucking scary part is like, all right, between these joints, like, what are we doing, right? Like, what are we going to say? What is the story we're trying to bring? Like, is there a heckler in the crowd? And I know you probably go through this, Mark. Like, on the spot, like at the Rakim joint, I was talking, some dude was talking real loud and he was like an old head and shit like that. And I pointed him out, gave him a dap, and we kind of like talked, everybody laughed. And I was like, I bet we got that going. And then we go into the next joint that way, you know? So it's like, I don't know. I think that's very, very important, especially as you get bigger as an artist, as a comedian, anything in the arts or entertainment. It's all about like, you want the crowd to know that like we're all in this, we're giving each other energy, right? And those are like the best shows you'll go to.
It
That's
makes
cool.
me this makes me very self-conscious as a an audience member because I feel like and I don't know if you guys know this, but I feel like I'm a Japanese. And I say this because if you watch Japanese
Yeah.
concerts, it's pin drop silent because they're just watching the show. And that's how I
Right.
watch live music and shows. I'm like, 'cause
Ah.
one, when I went to the 311 concert and there was a mosh pit happening, I'm like, do I just jump up and down? I don't want to look stupid. I'm just enjoying the music. I'm like, hey, I know that song, and I'm just kind of enjoying it. And then when I've been to rap shows, and all right, I am super in my own head about throw your hands up, and I'm like, okay, am I going with the beat with everybody else? And I'm like, okay, just and then it feels like work because at some point they're like, stand up, put your hands up, slap your bitch's ass, and it's like, all right, dude, like I can't
Nice.
do all these different things at once. I just came to watch you
Different
rap.
shows. Right.
Yeah,
Right. But that you make it go. No, continue.
no,
Continue.
I mean, but it's just I don't know how to react with that because one, if you look at me up in the crowd, I don't want you to think I'm not having a good time because I'm actually having a great time. I'm
Yeah.
ingesting it, but I just don't know what to do and like,
I tell you what, like
I love
can
this.
I?
when I'm
Go ahead.
we've rocked before, and still till this day when I rock, we had to learn that some people digest and take these shows in like differently. So what we're used to seeing is like energy that we're giving, you give back. So like we want this shit, right? And all that kind of cool shit. But sometimes you'll be there and like front row people will just be like this.
That's me.
He's a
Right.
nervous
And then
participant.
I'm just like, fuck, I hate these people in the fucking front right now, bro. Cause I'm like, I don't know if they feeling it. And of course, like you're a person, so you're like, what the fuck,
Yeah.
bro? Like I'm doing
Yeah.
my best for now, this
Yeah.
person. But I learned like, okay, so maybe people take it different because after the shows, those same folks that are just like this will walk up and be so fucking excited. Like that was
Yeah.
so fucking good. And I was like, oh, maybe like everybody isn't on the wave of just like, you know, but what our job is to kind of disarm everyone, right? So if I see you kind of just doing that shit, if I'm doing a call and response, bro, I will tap you and I will put the mic in front of you and I'll
Uh-huh.
make sure you're fucking doing that shit. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm getting
disarm.
nervous. I'm getting
You can
nervous.
chill.
Yeah. When you go to, yeah, in the chat, it's like Simon Says, and I'm just like, put your hands up, get up, shake your ass, and I'm just like,
I
that's what
hate
you're
that.
here for, dude. That's what you're here for. Like,
I hate that.
you do these
Yeah.
things, I will just applaud you and
Yeah.
do that. It's funny you mentioned when people come up to you after the show. I will never, it's time to not be humble. I'm gonna take a quote from Science.
Let it loose.
The humble shit is aside, dude. Which is when someone comes up to you after the show. I don't know how you feel, and like my adrenaline is pumping, dude, and I'm coming off
Yes.
this high, and I'm trying to dissect everything in my head from memory of how did this go. And the weirdest time is when someone came up to me in the bathroom at the Comedy Store, and he said, "Dude, I loved your set. That was fucking dope." And it's like we dapped, and I had my dick in my hand. I'm like, "Oh, cool, man. Thanks, dude." Like, I want to give you the respect and look at you in the eyes, but like I'm eyes on the prize and now the urinal. I'm going to town right now on this thing, and it feels good, right? Like that's kind of like a very validating moment.
It feels fucking amazing. Like
Mhm.
it's low key what we do it for. Of course, we do it for us. We love it. We love giving y'all whatever the fuck art we have to give you guys. But like, it's nice to know like that you guys are responding a certain way. It's nice to know like when people come. It's nice when folks come up and it's like, yo, you did a fucking great job because you some nights you might walk off stage, but like, yo, I fucked that up. And then
Mhm.
you'll have four people come up to you like, yo, that shit was fire. And then you're like, all right, well, shit, they didn't know I fucked up that bad. We did good. You know what I'm saying?
I think that guy in the bathroom, you should take that as like an extra compliment too, because
That's
that was a bad time to approach, but he like swallowed his pride and did it anyway, dude. So I
I did
think that means a
anyway.
lot, you know?
I actually
Yeah.
called out the moment. I was like, "Dude, I have my dick in my hands, and I want to thank you." And we laughed. We had a good haha
Yeah.
moment, and that was a moment we'll always have together.
And that
That's
It,
probably
nice.
made your night a little bit.
it did.
Admit it.
I'm
You
gonna
still
ask.
remember this guy.
I do. It was even before he started foot tapping to let me know what he was about in the stall. Here, here's a potentially racially charged question I'm going to ask you because I have thoughts about this. Is do
Oh.
you uh, do you feel more hyped when someone from a different race like comes up to you after a show and says like, "Yo"?
Hell no. I don't even like honestly, I don't even be like realizing. It just be whoever the fuck and
Mm.
whatever the fuck, you know?
I don't know if that
Yeah,
works
that's a good
in all
question.
directions though, Mark, because I think some races are just cooler than others, dude, you know?
Yeah.
Just if we're
I
going
say
there,
this.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to lead you down this hole because
Go
I've
then,
said this
go.
before.
Let's
Is
go.
I can have 30 people laugh at my shit like it's a packed room, 30, 40, 50 people. It means more to me when the one black guy's laughing. It it means so much more, dude. 100%. Like I can't I can't explain it. I can totally explain the science behind it. No pun intended. Which is
Nice.
um when you make a black person laugh, yo, like you know they're laughing. Case in point.
It's real.
Fuck. I'm not even trying
Yeah,
to laugh right now, bro.
yeah. And
Oh, that's funny.
not only are they laughing, is they're fucking giving you immediate feedback and repeating back the lines, which is like he said shout out, and I'm like, yeah, I did say that, didn't I? And I like at that point, I'm not even doing stand up for anyone in the room but for him. And like
That's the
that
one.
is yeah, that's the one. Like I
That's
don't
the
know
one.
where like I wish more.
Oh my
I
god.
did more shows for like like black audiences. Like it's like there's the Chocolate Factory, like that does
Yeah.
it, the Laugh Factory or something. But like that hypes me up, man. Like that, like I can see why like it. This is the reason why I do it. I do it for black people. Is what I'm saying.
And there's nothing wrong with that, bro.
Oh,
There's
dude.
nothing. You got the blacks, you got them all, bro. Like that's it. No one can ever call you unfunny, bro. Like
Oh man, yeah. Like when they
it's
say back your shit though, that's like
They're giving you
it's
that
gonna.
yeah,
positive feedback in the moment, dude. It's perfect.
And,
yeah,
and you know
yeah.
what? Because that's kind of like some rap shit though. Because like if you drop some hot bars, right? Like and you're like
Right.
you hit this line, there's that stank face, and you're like, oh, he said, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
This
he
is
He
his
said,
was
one.
like, he
yeah,
was like, yeah,
and
yeah,
you
yeah.
repeat it back, and I'm like, I am 110% in on this, and if I don't make any money on this, which I probably won't, this is gonna be enough validation for me. I can die today knowing that I did that. That was me
Oh yeah.
doing it for the Rasa.
I love that, bro. That's the culture, baby.
Yeah. Victor, you got
That's the
questions, man?
culture.
Yeah, man. I wanted to ask earlier. So I was looking through your Spotify. Mark sent me your Spotify. I was checking it out, and I noticed
Nice.
that you're doing a lot of collaborating, man. That's pretty cool. I
Oh
noticed
yeah.
there's a guy named Blue that you rap with on a couple songs, and it's
Brother
just funny
Blue.
because I was obsessed with that guy in 10th grade. Like, he had an album, Blue in Exile, right?
Same.
Dude, that shit bangs,
Bang,
man. And I was like,
bang.
every song I was repeating for me. I used to love that. And then I saw him on one of your tracks, and I'm like, holy shit, dude, this guy is legit. So I just
Yeah.
wanted to ask, like, how do you connect with people like that? And was that cool for
Mm.
you? I mean, did you
Oof.
used to listen to him and then you're rapping with him, or did you guys just kind of bump into each other? What's that like?
I'm still I'm still a fan of Blue. I feel like he's still my top 5.
Hmm.
So I was like you and probably a lot of folks that are seeing this and will see this, especially from out here, where I remember being in my mom's crib and me and my boy had like started this rap group. I forgot what we were called at this moment. But we started this rap group and he was sitting at the computer and he played this. This is when blogs were big.
Hmm.
And he was on his blog site that had a little radio and he played some shit from Blue. And at this point in time in Brooklyn, we're not really fucking with West Coast. Not like because we're not fucking with it because like we're in New York, we're in the Mecca, everything is popping right now.
Hmm.
Boom, boom. And this is when we were in college. And then I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like,
Right.
who the fuck is this? And it was Blue, and I'm just like, oh shit. And then I went in. I think the song was like Classic Man off of like one of the mixtapes or some shit like that. I think
Mm-hmm.
he might have produced it or Exile. And then from then on, I was like, yo, these motherfuckers in the West are on something. Cause this shit sounds like it could be over here, but like
Yeah.
we don't do shit like this over here. Like he would take samples, he would have vulnerability on his tracks, and it was just like some different shit. From then on, I became a really fucking big fan. And as I was journeying in this career, like there was this one show at I think it was Southpaw, R.I.P. Southpaw because it's closed down, either Southpaw or Public Assembly. And I saw Blue was on the bill, and at that time I had a manager. Shout out to my girl H, Holly Monell. She was my manager at the time, and I got on this like CMJ show. And so back then, when I was on the grind, I was like, all right, so boom, how do I get like features or like for these cats to notice me? Homeboy Sandman was on the fucking bill. Whole bunch Tehran and Omari, I think, were on the fucking bill. Like cats from the West, Blue was on the bill. So I had gone on YouTube, was looking for beats, and Blue had dropped like this open LP instrumental shit. I had recorded something to it, not thinking like I'm gonna run into him.
Mm-hmm.
Recorded something cool. Show comes around months later, and then I rock. And as on the come up rappers, when you have when you have like folks that you look up to at the show, you're hoping they see your set, but of course they
Of
never
course.
do. It never
Yeah.
happens that way. These motherfuckers are not here to see you. So whatever, I rocked, and in the venue, there's a place where you get off stage and you have to go through this like side channel or whatever to get back to like the main area. I rocked and I sat in that side place because I knew like I bet like when Blue comes through back and forth, whatever the fuck, I'm at least get to say what's up to my
Staking
mans,
out that
right?
hallway. Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah, staking out the hallway. So I went to get drinks, whatever the case. And then when he went on stage, I'm like, bet as soon as this last song is on, I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna just chill and just give him like, yeah, I mean, like that shit was fire, whatever. My man, I told him it was fire. And I was like, yo, but like I also recorded some shit to like one of your instrumentals. My man stopped. He was like, shh. Word, yo, which song? Because he's mad cool and laid back, right? Yo, which joint? And I told him the joint, and he was like, you know what? Yo, send that shit to me. And I was like, what? Word?
Whoa.
Gave me an email, but like with it was a Yahoo email,
Oh.
and
That's how you know it's
so I'm
legit.
like, this is what rappers do. This is what we do. I do that. Like we all do it. It's like I send that shit, whatever. I'm trying to go get a drink, talk to a shorty, whatever. So I'm like, I bet. I get the email, write it down. Yo, I send that guy the song a week later. The guy hits me up and he's like, yo, send the vocals. Now, when you hear that as a rapper or as an artist, you're like, oh shit. When someone says send the vocals, that means, oh, we moving forward with the fucking song. Like, I need
Oh
these so
wow.
I can have them mixed. I need, and I was like, oh shit, I bet. Sent the vocals. He got a homie named Versus on the joint. And so now we have a collaboration that Blue produced. And for me at the time, I'm like fucking maybe like 22 or something. I'm like, yo, what the fuck
This
is
came out of
happening? This is
nowhere.
crazy.
Yeah.
This is like, he's so cool. He don't know me from a can of paint. He's just like, send the fucking vote. All right, cool. Boom, that's fine. Around December or whatever the fuck, because I think CMJ is around November. He hits me up again. He's like, yo, like, we trying to shoot this video. What's up? Can you be in LA? I'm like, what the fuck is happening? I've never been out to LA. I'm fucking, you know what I mean? I'm in college and fucking living with my mom, sleeping on the couch and shit. And then I'm like, you know what? I hit my man Just up and we were like, yo, we gotta fucking go to LA, bro. If you want to do this rap shit. We never been, but fucking let's go. Went to LA, met the dude. It was fucking dope. We shot the video. And from then on, it was just like building and building and building and building. So I know my man for maybe about 10 plus years at this point in
Wow.
time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But the thing is, one thing I respect is like all because I know you and you might be on my beats does not mean that you're at the caliber to be able to feature with me.
Hmm.
And it's unsaid, but it's like it's said because it's like I send shit and it's like, all right, cool, that's dope. But it's never like, I bet I'm gonna get on. And then I was like, all right, cool, let me just fucking keep getting better, keep getting better, keep getting better. And at a point in time, it was like the first joint I think we actually did together was called Charlie Brown. Shout out to EOM, RIP EOM, who produced that shit. And I think that's my biggest record so far. And he got on that shit and it blew up. And then from then it was just like, all right, cool. Yo, get on this shit. I'll get on this shit. We get on this shit. I come to LA, we get up, we're chilling. You know what I'm saying? So it's real organic. And that's the story of how I met Blue and what went down there. And I love him forever because it's like, yo, I'm just some dude, bro. I was on the come up, and you're Blue. You was just in Double XL. You with Exile. Your album with Exile changed my fucking life. It changed your lives too if you listen to it. And
Hmm.
like you just like, yo, send the vocals, bro. I'm just trying to make music. Nigga, what? Okay. Like, what you talking about? All right. And he's still that dude till this day. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll hit us up. He'll be like, "Yo, yeah, I want to go see this Kendrick concert. Like, let's go do this. Let's go do that." He'll show up to a show. He showed up at the Rock Him show to do a joint. Like it's like he's the definition of like legendary and humble. You know what I'm saying? Which is a very fire like duality to be or to have. Like
You don't see that too much.
you don't see that shit at all. You know what I'm saying? Not in the rap game.
Look at you,
If you
dude.
popping, you popping. You know, who the fuck are you?
Couple things in the chat, and chat. You can chat and ask questions. Put your hands up and put it on the keyboards, and it's like I'm rapping along. So play along here. Ricky Bobby, Pretty Ricky is in the house.
My man Rick, what
So
up, baby?
just let you know, Pretty Ricky, what up, my dude?
What up, my guy?
Uh,
That's my
Airball,
guy, bro.
hey, science brings all the peeps to the yards, dude. Respect.
Love that.
Airball
Welcome.
Poppy.
Yo,
If I may
Sopito
ask,
Papi.
if I
That's
may
my
ask,
guy.
Mr. Science, if
What up?
rapping never took off or was never an option, what do you think you would be doing instead?
I'm gonna keep it real with you. I had to keep that thought out of my mind for so fucking long, bro.
Uh-huh.
Like I couldn't, like it, like, and I had, and it was consciously and intentionally. It was like I made the decision, like, yo, I can't think about if this don't work. And it's of course easier when you're fucking like 22. It's like whatever. This rap is my life, right?
Hmm.
And I made that effort, but like even as I got older and life started lifing, and it's like I need money, I need to move out, I need to do all these things. I then started to struggle with like, yo, bro, like maybe you should think about what you might do if shit don't pan out exactly, you know? But I still struggle with like kind of like forcing that kind of mind frame out because it's what I
Mhm.
want to do, right? But I'm also realistic. So of
Mhm.
course I had thoughts, but one thing I find that gravitates to me naturally and I gravitate to is like teaching shit, like teaching, period. Whether
Mhm.
it's being a professor, whether it's like whatever the fuck I can teach and give. I think I just want to give. You know what I mean? And I feel like teaching might just be like a different format and a different form. But it's kind of like when I'm on stage, I'm like giving some shit, right? Whether it's a vibe, whether it's this, whether it's that, and teaching you can kind of do the same. So,
Yeah. Hey, as
but
founder,
I will never have to do it. I'll
yeah.
never have to
Never
do it though,
give in.
bro.
Keep
All
fighting
right,
the good
I'll
fight.
never give in. I'll never teach.
As founder of bars.edu, I totally can see it teaching, man.
That's what I was that.
He's got bars. I thought about one of the things I wanted to be. Well, growing up in a Filipino household was great because it's like be a nurse or fucking don't talk to me about anything at all. So I'm batting 0 for 1,000 with my family. Um, but I didn't want to be a nurse. I can tell you that right now. I didn't want to be a
Good.
nurse as a kid. I didn't want to be a nurse when I was 16. And to
Mm-hmm.
this day, I don't want to be a nurse. But one of the things I said was I want to be a teacher and I want to teach history. And it it's a weird thing to think that I would be a teacher, but that's what I wanted to do. And they shot that shit down hard. And they're like, "You're not gonna make any money." And I was like, "I wanted to be the cool teacher." Rolled up the sleeves, sat in this chair, like backwards, like a fucking cowboy.
Yeah.
And let them know like that's what I was about, and that didn't pan out, obviously. Victor, what's the one job you wanted to do?
Um, well, my mom, it's funny you say that. My mom is a Mexican nurse. She wanted me to
Hmm.
be a nurse as well. A lot of that, a lot of that.
Sure.
I used to play with like Legos and I used to build like model Zoids and like Gundams and stuff as a kid. So everybody thought I
Hmm.
was going to be an
Fire.
engineer. So I, I actually applied to schools as an engineer and it was working for about one semester, and then I was like, nah, dude, this ain't it. I can't do all this math, and so I switched to art. And so I was batting a zero with my parents as well.
Your
But
parents hated that shit.
yeah, they weren't super happy, as you guys can imagine. They got
Right.
over it though. It only took a decade. We're all cool now.
Oh, it's lit.
Yeah, it's all good.
Yeah.
I'm not using the art degree at this time, but you know what? It's about the journey, not the destination, because
That's
I
it.
found some stuff along the way. I stumbled into some things that kind of worked out actually, but it's funny, you know.
I want to
It's
fight
interesting.
everyone in my past, and that's family included, because the one thing I wanted to do, and I wanted to do this for about 8 months, so you knew it was serious, was I wanted to be a sports journalist.
That's
And
cool.
That's
that was
fire.
my thing, and I was in high school, and I said I'm going to start going to journalism, and I'm going to figure this out. And they all talked me out of that one too. They said you, in order to be a journalist for sports, you have to have played the game, and you're five
You're too
six.
short.
You're not gonna be dunking the ball anytime soon. So you're not gonna be
Right.
doing it. And I said, you know what? Maybe you're right. And in the last 10 years, the biggest personalities in sports are the journalists who have hot takes. And I think that job was made for me. I can spew bullshit and instigate and push buttons with the best of them, and it didn't happen. If I can go back,
Mm,
when you asked the question of like, what would you do and go back in time? I'm fighting everyone
mm,
that
mhm,
stopped me from doing it. They
mhm.
talked me out of it, and I know everyone's like, why don't you just do it? I'm like, all right, dude, let's be real. Like, I'm not gonna be on Grantland or anything now as a sports writer, so like I kind of have to pave my own path. But
Yeah.
if there's one thing I can do, like I know people are like, oh, you can't change the past. No, fuck you. I'm gonna go back there and make my ass do it because I would have loved to do that.
No,
Yeah.
dude. You know what we're
That
gonna
sounds
do?
fire, bro.
We're gonna add a
Mm.
sports journalism section to the pod, just for you, so you can live out your dreams, man. You know what?
And
Fuck
also
that.
we're in the age of TikTok, bro. Like we're in the age of like we don't need anyone to validate shit. If you get
Oh,
out and you're popping on TikTok and you trying to do that shit or any social media, you can pop, bro. You'll be fucking dead ass.
yeah.
Like,
And
we'll
you know
see you on
what?
TV next year.
Tolkien didn't
Yeah.
even write Lord of the Rings till he was like 45, bro. So people pop off late in life, dude. Is all I'm saying. I
Yeah.
was telling my girlfriend this the other day. She's a musician as well, but she plays piano. But she just released a new song a couple weeks ago. Me and Mark were at her show, and you know, it's like sometimes people will ask that question about like, hey, when are you gonna quit, or whatever. But it's like I feel like when you acknowledge that, that's like the light at the end of the tunnel, and you gotta like run the other way because once you start getting to that mindset, it's already like the beginning of the end, dude. So I told her
That's the
that same
darkness,
thing.
bro.
Yeah, exactly. It's like,
That's the darkness at the end of
you
the
know,
tunnel.
sometimes
All right.
people figure it out later.
Two
Right.
wrap questions before we start going into other things because I have some stories I
Poppin'.
want to talk about.
Yeah.
Is from the outside perspective. I always wanted to know this. 21 Savage is a perfect example for this one, where you just start hearing him yell "on God" and
I
yeah,
love
these
21,
random
bro.
words. When you record that,
Yeah.
is he standing in the booth and just listening to the song and saying "on God"?
100%. 100%. Those are ad
Wow.
libs. Those
Uh,
are fucking. I love 21 Savage. I love the 21s that come
mhm.
randomly. Jim Jones has, I don't know if you guys listen to Jim Jones or Dipset
Oh
and them,
yeah.
but Jim Jones, I didn't really hear ad libs like that
Mhm.
until like Dipset and Jim Jones. They'll have verses going on behind their verses.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, but they stand in the stew and they wait and it's quiet and you just hear them sporadically say, like, 21,
Yeah.
bow, bow. That's what we do.
Because
That's dope.
because when you're in a studio, you know, like the people in the mixing room hears it. But if
Mhm.
you were to be in the same room as 21 Savage or Science doing ad libs, the headphones, the monitors have the music. So I want to be in that room and just hear them. I feel like you know how like all right, this is gonna sound like this might sound. There's no black people with Tourette's. Have you noticed that?
Black people have Tourette's, okay?
I don't think so, dude. Well, actually, I do
Maybe
because
not as
rappers.
commonly.
I think rappers do. I think
Oh.
21 Savage might have Tourette's.
You don't got no Tourette's.
He
And he
yells
just
on God
manifests it
randomly.
with on
Yeah,
God.
he yells on God and God. Like, I think when the music enables it. So I think maybe the ad libs is just a form of Tourette's.
It's his true calling,
True.
Yeah.
dream job.
True.
He
True.
he parlayed his Tourette's into hip hop, dude, and I
Look
love
at
it.
that. Look at that. Look at that.
Yeah. Well, okay. The other thing I want to do a cheap plug for myself because I'm really proud of myself for today. But like before I go into that is how the fuck do you remember everything in terms of like your songs? Because like
I don't.
if so what's good like you go into a studio session, you go on stage, you shoot a video. How do you have all these
That's
lyrics
such
chambered in your head?
fucking great questions, man. Memorizing shit is my least favorite part of this thing. Like
Hmm.
since I was coming up with folks, also rappers and all that, for years and years, it always seemed so much easier for them to memorize their fucking shit. And for me, I'd have to sit with it, sit with it, sit with it for like 2 weeks, like reciting, reciting, reciting. But the good thing is like once you have it, you have it. You know what I'm saying? So if I had a show tomorrow, I haven't been practicing, I'd have to like tune everyone out and continue listening to my shit. And what also helps me is like reading it while listening to it and reciting it at the same time. I don't know what happens with the brain, but like I get it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But memorization, I hate that shit, bro. Like the my one thing about going on stage is like not being able to remember fucking lines, bro. And I hate that. You know what I mean? But like in coming up, one thing that me and Divine also worked on was like, yo, bro, you gonna fuck up. This is with anything you do on a stage with people. This is in regular
Mm-hmm.
conversation. This is anything. And it's like, it's not about you fucking up or not. It's about like, how do you make it so that they don't really care that you fucked up and are still as comfortable in the environment that you've created. You've
Yeah.
seen a lot of people fuck up and it's like a fucking shit show. And it's like, fuck, we know you fucked up and you don't know how to play it off and it's like trash. But we had so many shows where it's like we'd fuck up, but like we knew how to kind of skedaddle right back into that motherfucker. That's
Mm.
where like when you see artists do like pull up, when they're pulling shit up and they're replaying a fucking song, they probably don't know what the next bar is. All right. That's a little
Yeah.
secret. They're like, pull that
That's
shit up. And while everyone's like, yeah, they're like, all right, shit, what's the line? What's the line? What's the line? And that's just what it is.
that's when the
You know what
crowd
I'm
work
saying?
comes
So
in too. You start
that's the crowd work.
engaging, kind of stall a little bit.
I'm
Exactly.
Interesting.
doing stand up. I'm jealous because I feel like one of the things you could do is if you forget a line, just put your mic to the crowd and let them do it, and you're
If
like,
they know your
they
shit.
know your shit, right?
That's the
They don't
thing.
know,
Not
you're just
everybody
like,
can pull that off.
If I start
yeah,
blacking out on stage and I just forget my shit, I'll just put my mic out there and say like,
all
"Come
right,
on, guys, finish the punchline for
Fill in
me.
the
Just do it.
blanks.
Just put the
right,
punchline on there."
right.
um, I I and I'm gonna do a cheap plug, and maybe you're gonna use it, maybe you won't. I don't know. But today, Victor, MC Vic Nasty, isn't that your rap name?
Nice.
Be
Yeah.
nasty. That's me.
V Nasty.
Nice.
In the streets of Hollywood, I was hanging with Science, and I shot a video clip for him,
Oh
and
wow.
I was and it was really cool to do, and it's also super nerve wracking because one, Science is like 6'6", and I'm like 4'11". So like he's like, all right, just hold the camera up, and yeah, there's pictures of the videos that he'll be posting,
That's dope.
and I will be tagging To Live and Talk in LA in there. Don't worry about it, I got
Yeah,
you.
you got you.
Um, but I was watching them, and 10 things are going on in my head, which is okay. I'm walking backwards, make sure I don't trip, make sure I don't step in shit because I don't know if it's human or animal,
Could be anything.
and I don't want to fuck this up, and I want to get the recording right. And as I'm doing it, I see Science just like ripping lines, and I'm like, oh, like what he's saying is fucking fire, dude. And it's just coming out, and I was like, yo, he memorized this. This is like, I'm jealous because there's so many times where I can't even remember things I'm going to talk about in the podcast, and then we end the show. I'm in the shower after fucking punching the wall. I can't believe I forgot it. Fuck me, dude. I'm so stupid. And this guy's just ripping verses off the top of his head. I know it's not top of your head, but you've
Yeah, yeah,
memorized
yeah.
this and
There's
did
a
it. And I'm
memory
like,
bank now.
oh,
You
dude.
know, it's
I get you.
repetition.
Yeah.
It's repetition and music. Like there
Mm.
has to be for me, there has to be something guiding me, right?
Yeah.
And so if you told me to spit a song of mine right now, a cappella, I'd have to think. But if you played the beat right now, automatically I'm like, oh, I
Yeah.
got that song. You know what I'm saying? So I think it might be easier for us. Like I could never do what you do, Mark. Like as a stand-up, like that scares the shit out of. I don't like public speaking. I fucking get way nervous public speaking because there's nothing behind me that kind of carries me into the groove, right? There's no music, there's no something. To just sit here and speak I couldn't do poetry, I can't do stand up, I can't do a TED talk. I'm not doing none of that shit. But I need you to feel the vibe and I can spit some bars at you.
Dude, I'm excited to see that video, man. That was it's a very monumental day in my life. I'm posting on LinkedIn for visibility.
That's your
Oh,
first
sweet.
time recording for musicians, eh? For a rap
Yeah.
video.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't the last. It ain't the last.
It ain't gonna be the
I'll
last.
see you tomorrow.
You see,
What do
all
you-
that. Go ahead.
What do you think is harder, shooting a rap video or taking a photo for a group of girls and it has to be perfect, dude? What
Oh,
what was a
dude.
bigger challenge?
I was actually gonna go there, which was it's 110% harder for like in science that the Guatemalan is my fiance, and we go to Disneyland quite a bit.
Mhm.
Taking photos is fucking nerve wracking.
It is.
Because
Mhm.
you have to take all these photos, and then I take a bunch of safety shots just in case, and they're like, the angle's not right. I don't like this. The lighting's not here.
You
And
didn't
I'm
get the
like, "I don't know,
shoes. There's
dude."
always
Yeah,
something.
the shoes. And then when I was recording you, like I was getting PTSD, and I was like, okay, dude, arms are weak, knees are like, knees are weak, arms are heavy, vomit on the sweater already, mom spaghetti, and I'm like, okay, I need to make sure that I do this right. And I'm just praying to God I'm not like fucking shaking like this as I'm recording, or I'm like breathing hard because I was like, I don't want to fuck this up. I mean, I know
You
you can
killed it.
fix the post, but I was like,
You killed it.
that
We
was
did it twice, bro. Like we shot twice.
That's pretty good.
Like for shits
Mhm.
and giggles. Like, yeah, fuck that. Like we're easy.
Yeah, if you got more questions for science in the chat, drop them.
Ooh.
Victor, I can't see YouTube. Is there anything on YouTube? We'll call them out if they're not participating and putting their hands up. And-
Yes.
Someone by the username Logan Howard says it's not too late. So
Logs.
that's a little bit of support from some nice person out there in the world for you, Mark.
What's
She's
the
talking
good
about making
logs?
black people laugh. That was probably what we should refer to. All right, Jamal, we're gonna actually I want to do this. We're gonna throw it to some stories here because that's what we do until Live and Talk in LA. If you have questions
Yeah.
for us, man, feel free to let it rip. But I wanted to share
Hell
this
yeah.
story with you guys and get your perspective. Headline is Toronto man gets prison for tricking men into anonymous sex through hole in a sheet. And then just a warning, disclaimer, this story contains explicit details. On two separate occasions in 2020, Tony Saphir tricked two men into believing they were talking to a woman online and invited them over into his Toronto home to have anonymous sex through a hole in a sheet hanging in a doorway. The ruse came to an end when the second man pulled the sheet down to find Saphir cowering on the ground in a black wig, and he was later arrested. Ontario Court Justice Kathy Mocha, great judge name, convicted a 33-year-old of 2 counts of sexual assault, given that victims had been misled about the identity of their sexual partner. On Friday, she sentenced him to 28 months in prison, 14 months for each count. He'll also be on the sex offenders registry for the next 10 years.
Oh,
There's some graphic details here.
nope.
And I don't know if we need to do it, but like, thoughts on this? Like,
What where did what site how did they connect? What's the site?
I'm assuming Craigslist.
Sounds Craigslist.
That's where it all goes down.
Sounds like Craigslist. Yes.
It didn't say the website here.
I
but-
also want to know what the ad looked like. Just
Oh.
like whether it came up in conversation or was someone on Craigslist like, "Yo, I got this sheet with the hole in it." You know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah,
Well-
I'm really curious
Come
because
through.
I feel like isn't it up to somebody to do their due diligence? Like, can you sue someone for that? Because if you're just showing up somewhere
Low-key, yes.
and just sticking your dick through a sheet, not knowing or looking on the other side or whatever, like, isn't that your fault? Or what?
Whose
like,
fault?
The dude.
Whose fault? Oh no, I don't. Who came through?
Yeah, like
I don't know.
feel like
I don't know.
he's out there looking
Because-
for sex online anonymously. So it's like, are you really gonna be
You
picking?
got. So we might be looking at it because they're dudes, right? But I think a good way to maybe look at it is like, what if it was a woman going to a guy's house being tricked, right?
Yeah.
So let's think about it that way. It's still fucked. It's fucked up. Like it's false advertising at that point in time.
Yeah.
But they never said
I mean,
what they were, right? Or
This is
maybe they
also
did.
true. This
No, okay, well,
We need more
Mocha,
information.
rejected Sphere's testimony that the men were in fact communicating with a woman named Angela, who he said had access to his home. The judge concluded that Angela was a fictitious person created by Sphere. In her sentencing decision Friday, Mocha found that there was no evidence of real remorse or appreciation of harm done on Sphere's part. The method that he used of the glory hole, using a wig, telling the victim they had to be quiet so he wouldn't have to speak to them, all helped to maintain the illusion that he created in his communications that the victim were engaging with a woman, the judge said.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
It's a glory hole is a thing, right? So that's a thing. We know
Yeah.
that's a fucking thing. Well, fuck, man.
I think he did trick
fuck
these men into this a little bit.
He
then,
tricked
it
the men,
seems.
which is the fucked up.
Yeah.
But you gotta kind of go into kind of expecting.
Yeah.
Right, like,
I think so too.
In a glory hole situation,
Mhm.
it's like you don't really know what you're getting into.
Yeah. I think there's always like a percentage chance of it being not a woman or something weird on the other side. And it's
Not
like,
what you think it is.
Well, the
It-
rule
it
of
could
thumb here is if it's
Speaking
too good
of-
to be true, it's probably too good to be true, which is all you have to do is show up and put yourself through a hole in a sheet. It seems too easy, which is like kind of like the red flag here.
yeah, I think you do. If you don't
Yeah, that
want to
guy's
accept
fucked
that
up.
risk, you got to get on Hinge or something. You know.
It's
Yeah.
fucked up.
I-
It's fucked up.
well, I don't know if I want
That's
to.
fucked up.
I don't know if I want to read part, but it was some point. I guess like it was started off as oral, and then at some point it turned into an unintended insertion. I'll say that.
It says
And-
unintended.
Well, like the person who was going through the glory hole, the visitor.
Didn't realize.
Didn't
Gloriously.
realize what was coming next, which was that dude.
Which is something you got to expect for a glory hole, I think.
yeah.
You
Well,
kind of
yeah.
don't have control. You just have your thing in there, and it's like
I think it's on both
Have at
parties
it.
here a little bit. It's a bit
Oh,
of a
I guess-
mixed, but mostly the
Mixed
guy's
bag?
bad. Yeah, bad.
yeah,
on
that guy is
everybody.
fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's fucked up. He's fucked up.
Shame on him, and
Tough
I'll be going to
case.
Toronto in 28 months. Just in an unrelated topic. Just saying.
That's that
Enjoy.
Toronto shit. That's wild.
I'll be visiting the Six to see like just on an unrelated topic. No, that's kind of wild, man. Because I want to know, and it doesn't say in the story, is when did the guy pull down the sheet? Did he wait till he was finished? Is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like,
At what
yeah,
point?
yeah, you're like, you know what?
Valid fucking questions.
Like, it,
It's
because
a valid fucking
yeah,
question.
I don't know, man. It's kind of
And how did two
you know.
people are suing this man, right? Two people.
yeah.
How did
Well,
those two guys get in touch with each other to figure out what was happening with the other one? You know,
I think they went to the police themselves. But I-
Craigslist.
and they connected the dots. The police like connected them to each other. Because I think if I'm a dude and I went to a glory
Craigslist.
hole and I found out I was fucking another dude, I'm not gonna tell people about it. So it's like, how am I gonna find the other survivors? You know,
That's the thing, though, because I don't think it's just two people.
'Cause there's countless other ones that never came up.
Yeah.
I've been watching True Detective, and I didn't even think of that.
Exactly,
Like,
right? Like this serial killer,
wow.
we caught him
These
for
are-
10. Who knows how many
these
other
are
ones
the-
he did?
Wow.
These dudes are the two brave ones who came to report.
Nobody wants.
Nobody
Nobody wants
to be
nobody to know
no.
that.
I think some people are gonna like, I'll take this L and go home. Like these people were that pissed, like like
Also,
post clarity.
right, those folks probably didn't want to that they didn't want to know that. They're
Mhm.
probably upset. Like, fuck, man, I was
Yeah.
chilling. I thought it was a woman. I'm here with my kids. I don't know what the fuck. But, like, I'm here watching TV, and like now I got like, come on, fucking my life up.
I mean, that's just kind of a that's kind of a weird breakaway, right? Like I feel like, because you're pressing charges, you have to be single. If you were a married dude or with someone,
That's- Bro, who are you, bro?
Can't-
Magnum PI. Like, how?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's so smart. Like, that's why.
Angela needed
There's
to
only
be
two
for taking
people.
people.
Should have been a
That's the thing.
detective.
Yeah.
Right?
See? I'm on.
You never thought of that?
that. Victor, I have a hypothetical question for you, and you can play along in the chat. All right. You can either have $5,000,
Okay.
or you will be provided a list of people who have masturbated to you.
I
Head-
can
head
have
count
one or the
people.
other.
You can have one or the other. Which one are you taking?
I mean, damn. Realistically, I'd probably take the money, but I would really want to know who's on that list because I don't. It's got to be a short list, but that would be very spicy. That very interesting stuff, dude.
Mm.
So which
I
one? You said you take the money?
I think I'm gonna take the money because what am I gonna do with the list? You know, like I can't. I've been, I'm happily dating somebody right now. I'm not gonna go hit these ladies up, dude. So this is just gonna. It could just be disappointment. Acapulco in the chat. That's true. It could be a list of. That could be a blank piece of paper.
Who said
dude.
that?
That's cold.
That's
I mean, hey, but 5,000, dude. Like you'll know that you were at some point thought about.
Dude, maybe it'd be like a big ass list too, and then I would feel like I would be pumped. You know?
Is it time stamped? Do you know like when? Do you know like if it's been in the last year or so? You know, like
This is
spice
all
the list up a little bit.
This is all historic
go.
data. This is all historic data, and if it, yeah,
I
you'll
think
get
it's
names.
like a cryptic magic list where the names just appear like a Harry Potter thing or something. So it's like
So you'll
you don't
always
get
have the
timestamps.
list?
Yeah, it just has a list of names.
So wait. This changes shit. So like I will always have the list. Like it's on my wall and like Ghost Rider will come and like write the newest person
that's
to
interesting.
masturbate to me.
You mean like it
let's
updates
go.
live? Yeah, that'd be cool.
Oh, so you want a real-time list like the ESPN ticker, and all of a sudden like the
Yes.
draft pick happens, and like
you get a you get a notification on your fucking
Then that's
Apple
dope.
Watch.
you're like, oh, it's a heart rate. Oh, it's not a heart rate. That's a okay. All right. So then we will do this. You could have all. It's either I will up it to 15K, or you can get a real-time list from the start of time up until the end.
Oh, that's
when
it.
this happens.
Done. Fuck
You're
the
taking the
15K.
list.
Yeah, I'll make 15K next
That's
year or some shit. I don't know. Fuck it.
We'll be fine.
Yes.
I think it's too cool not to.
I gotta
take.
know.
Yeah.
And now if you offer that, it's FOMO for the rest of my life. And nah, if I don't take 15K, there's no FOMO there. And there have been times where you wonder,
100%.
right? Like,
Absolutely. Especially as a dude, if you're
who's
like dating,
thinking about me.
you go on a nice
Right.
first date, and then you can just look at that list later, like, oh, it's working. You know,
It just appears.
it just shows up at 3 a.m. We're cooking, baby. Let's go.
Oh shit.
Oh, okay.
I didn't even think about
because then all of a sudden you're using it for intel. Like, are you in? Is
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Yeah,
Oh.
exactly.
See, like, okay,
That's good.
It just depends on where you're at in life, dude. If you're looking,
Okay,
if
well
you're on
then-
the hunt, you better take that.
Even if you're not, bro, like
It's still fucking.
you never
cool.
know where you
Yeah.
will be. Like it's just
Yeah,
like
it's
dope.
true.
You know? Yeah, it's worth way more than 15K, honestly. If it's
Yeah.
like in perpetuity,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can hand it down to like you can give it away to a friend to say you're about to pass away. You can have this. And
You
then
can like
you'll know
knight
now,
them,
like,
and then they'll.
you knight them like
now.
you-
Yeah.
You will now know.
Yeah,
That's
who
fucking
masturbates
cool.
to you.
the
Like,
black book. I think if I die, when I die at my funeral, if I have that list, you guys are reading that list.
We're gonna
Like,
read it on a
that'd be
loudspeaker.
I'm gonna come through.
you're gonna pull out the scroll, and whether it's gonna be you can write it on the palm of your hand or it's gonna be a sheet. I want that list read at my funeral. I think that's just the best way to go.
I'll do you one
then
better.
Even if it's a sticky note, like
Yeah,
just
it's
like
a sticky
I'm
note.
gonna make a PowerPoint presentation to accompany this with
Uh-huh.
photos when they were at their
You
peak.
need
dude.
photos.
That way
Yeah.
we can
Yes.
see. Oh, look at that. She was pretty cute. Next
Yes.
one.
And we need to know how many times too. Like, is it consistent? Like, wow, this
Yeah.
person was really fucking thinking about you.
You can have a lot of fun with that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like thinking about someone is so quaint. I don't know if like that's like really that's another thing to consider too, which is, this is in the 90s when like you're looking at porn and VHS and like all of a sudden you don't have that tape anymore. You gotta go to the memory bank. That was a thing from the 90s and before.
Yeah.
Now you got your phone, you got your iPad, you got your computer, you got your smart
It's too
TV.
much.
There's so much
Too
porn.
much.
It's like most of it's not even good anymore.
Are people
too
thinking about
accessible.
you? No, but the thing is, are people thinking about you now
Oh.
because they have
Yeah.
something to watch on the screen, which is somebody else?
I think it's still.
I think there's a lot more
thankfully,
competition.
I think it's still a thing though.
Hmm.
Makes it a bit more special nowadays as well. I think you prefer, or at least I prefer, to think about someone real than like.
Oh
some
wow,
porn.
that's
Well, that's
interesting.
sensual, dude. Wow.
Keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real.
That's
That's
an
why
extra-
he wants the list because he's that way. You know. I'm
We
not
all
that
want the
way.
list.
I'm not that
I
way,
want
so
to
I'm
be
like
buried with my
like,
list.
I don't really think about people that much. I use my resources, you know, that are available to me. So I was like, the list, that's interesting.
No, I treat
I
porn.
hon-
I treat porn like the NBA, which is
Mm.
when I watch the NBA, when I watch basketball, I'm not gonna go to the Burbank Rec League and watch, 5, 6 Asian dudes like huff and puff down the court and like play fundamentals. I'm watching fucking porn stars go at
Technical
it.
shit.
Yeah, I want like LeBron James is dunking out of the fucking arena at 38. I'm watching MILF porn stars at 38 years old, like doing things that, like I'm never gonna have that. That's what I'm watching. I'm aspiring that, but I'm not gonna get it.
I thought you were gonna say you only watch stuff that involves 5 dudes.
Oh
His
yeah, I mean
basketball
that's
team.
I thought that's where he was going.
yeah.
Wow.
There's definitely sites for that. I'm guessing.
Have
But I
you
like
ever,
what you said more. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever been disappointed or depressed when a business closed down around like near you, or like just in general?
Where is this going?
Have you been affected by that?
Yes.
Like
Tangent.
something like a restaurant, a store, a retail store, like things like that.
Yes.
Your local donut shop, your bacon, egg, and cheese bodega. There been something that's closed and you're like, this upsets me.
Yes.
Yeah.
What
your
is
point?
it?
He thinks
Oh,
that
okay.
he
Talk
thinks you're
about it.
plotting something. He's just this is a
No,
new
no, no.
question.
Yeah, like bro, we know Mark's like face when it's plot face.
Yeah.
So it's going down.
No, I'm segueing now.
There's a
which
follow-up
is-
question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Like what
Oh,
place? Yeah.
one easy one for me is like a lot of music venues in New York that we would go to on a weekly basis shut down.
Mm.
I don't know if that counts, but yeah, like
I would say
Southpaw
so.
and fucking Public Assembly, and I can name like 8 more that have closed down.
Okay. Victor, you
Yeah.
got one?
Yeah, dude. Me and my boys like to go out for dim sum every couple of weeks, couple months.
Nice,
Just depends.
nice.
There's not really a whole lot of dim sum unless you're gonna go to Din Tai Fung, but that's like you gotta wait hours. So we found this
mhm.
place nearby my house. You know, they would come through, we'd smoke and chill or whatever, watch something, and then we'd go, right? And me and my buddies rolled up there for dinner one time, just like waiting for it to be there. It's actually at a place that looks like the Taj Mahal. It's like this big, gigantic building with like cool decorations and stuff. And then you go inside, and it's
Oh,
just some
shit.
shitty dim sum restaurant. Anyway, we rolled up to this place one day, and it was just closed. And there was a big ass lock on the front, like a cartoon. It was like a lock like this big, and it had a big old chain going
Damn.
across the front. I was like, wow, it's fucking closed. And that's like a night
Damn.
ruiner, you know? I feel like when you're looking forward to go eat something bomb with your homies and you know, you got the munchies and stuff, and then you get there and the door is locked. It was really hard on us, and we like that place.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Vic.
It turns out it
That sounds-
reopened somewhere down the street, and it's actually nicer now.
Oh.
So we like that.
What the fuck?
But it was just like a
Okay.
real roller coaster. Like that night was
Oh.
tough.
M. Night Shyamalan with the fucking plot twist
Yeah.
here, dude.
Yeah, it's
What
good.
the
Shanghai
fuck?
Rose is back. We're good.
West Virginia town plans candlelight vigil for beloved local Hooters that's being demolished. If you've ever spent some time in a mountain state's capital city, chances you've ventured over to Hooters in Kanawha City. I used to live just a couple miles from that Hooters and spent many evenings there enjoying the wings and beer. Yeah, we'll go with that. But unfortunately, the beloved restaurant closed its doors in 2020 and has sat empty ever since. While the community held out hope that one day the Hooters would make its triumphant return, unfortunately, it seems that the building has officially served its last chicken wing. It was recently announced that the Hooters building would be demolished to make room for a Sheetz gas station. But before the iconic Hooters building comes down for good, residents of Charleston are planning to pay their respects to the place that holds so many memories for them with a candlelight vigil.
That's sweet.
So sweet.
Yeah, I mean, Hooters, I don't know why, but I actually really legit like their wings. Like, all jokes aside, they're kind of like, they're not authentic wings by any means, but they have this fucking pungent vinegar like to it that I actually do like, and it just happens to be served by relatively hot chicks.
Are you sure you're not just disillusioned while you're eating them there, though?
Nah,
Like, are
eyes
you
on
just
the
like,
prize, dude.
oh, you know,
Nah.
distracted?
Because like, well, I think the perk of living in LA is you're gonna be surrounded by just as hot people when you're walking around. So like, I don't need to go to Hooters. Like, I mean, we're not talking strip clubs. We're talking Hooters.
Yeah, and they're all wearing like Lululemon leggings now, and it's all
Yeah.
athleisure, so it's you get the same thing.
It's a- I'm I I feel for West Virginia because I feel like there's nothing to do in West Virginia. That was the thing to go have. I mean, I don't want to see what a West Virginia 10 was. Like, I feel like we all know West Virginia. But I mean, that was their thing, and they took it away from them.
I mean, they're
I feel
having a fucking funeral for it, so I think it was definitely a part of the community. You know, it's tough.
I
pouring
respect
out,
it.
pouring a wing out for you, dude. Science. Before
Yo.
we go, a couple other questions is East
Let's
Coast
go.
versus West Coast. Wanted to know your thoughts on songs about LA versus New York.
Songs about LA. Songs about LA are great.
He's trying to think of some.
Yeah, I know.
No, I'm just thinking about like Roy Ayers and all the fucking the synthesizers used that kind of take us to LA when we hear them, especially in like New York, right?
Hmm.
Those high synths and shit like that. New York, hot take. I hate that Jay-Z and Alicia Keys New York song. I think a lot of New Yorkers fucking
Wow.
despise that fucking record. We don't need it. But
That's a hot take.
Wow, I am shook right now.
it's fucking whack, bro. Oh god. Yeah, get that shit out of here. But I'm not saying I don't fuck with Hove and Alicia, but that I don't like that shit. But like we have I got 100 clips. Yes, I'm from New York. Look at you bopping your head. See that? We
Yeah.
have so many joints. I think New York, like how much of our music isn't about New York? Right? Like
There's a lot.
we have
Everybody talks about it. That's true.
fucking talk about New York all the fucking time.
Are you tired
What-
of it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I could never be tired of that.
Well, I think like now that you're here, you got to do a song about LA.
I think I have. I
Culver
years
City.
years ago, I have songs about LA. Years ago, I I got with an artist out here when I visited, and we called ourselves A Weekend in LA, and we scribed or made a couple of songs about LA because it was like a vibe. Like I've done it.
Mhm.
Don't look that shit up though. No, it's fire. Look that shit up. The songs are dope. The songs are dope.
Yeah. Mers LA is in the chat. That's come up a few times in our chat when I shit on songs from LA because my thought is that LA doesn't have any good songs about it. The songs about LA and Mers I will give is a good song. It's kind of a deep pool. I'm just talking about like at face value, like this is a commercial hit.
Mhm.
I fucking hate I Love LA by Randy Newman. That's a terrible song.
Wrong.
I'm a hater. It's not a good look. New York has better songs.
Because you don't like baseball, dude. People who like baseball and go to Dodger games love that LA song. Feels
So,
good.
to you guys, the LA do the songs have to be a certain type of theme? Is it like bigging up LA, or can it be like a Hotel California by the Eagles, or do the people making them have to be from here to make it like legit an LA song? Or
No, because Biggie did Back to Cali,
this is very true.
and that was a good one.
Dope as fuck. Yeah,
That was a good
Facts.
one.
I
And
think it's open entry.
yeah,
Open entry. Kendrick had a joint with when he was doing a lot of work with Dre and them. I forget what the fucking song is called, but it was like everybody's out here for the women, weed, and weather. That to me,
Ooh,
even though
The
they're not
Recipe.
saying like, oh, LA, yeah, the recipe. That was fire
like
as
that
fuck,
song. Yeah.
right? Like I honestly think like I know we're talking about songs for LA, but like
Mm.
the whole fucking Good Kid, Mad City, fucking took me here from New York. Like listening to it, and
And that's your
honestly, New
bumps,
York, the East Coast loved y'all out here from what we were able to see back in like the 90s with all the films that came out about you guys, like in terms of like Boys in the Hood and all this type of shit.
Mm.
Like we used to think LA was fucking like another planet, right? So it would take us there. And then like music started doing the same shit. We're listening to Snoop. We'll be drinking 40s because I think y'all were drinking 40s, like low key. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like shit like that. So LA, I know I'm kind of moving on what we're talking about, but like LA was fucking huge to us, even if we don't want to like admit it for a very fucking long time.
I
well,
also think maybe it's just part of like LA music culture not to like talk about LA. Maybe it's like Fight Club, dude. You know, 'cause I think in New York, there's a lot of talk about New York, and I think over
Yeah.
here, maybe it's just like in an effort to be different or something. Like we talk about other stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know if
Well,
it
That's a
does.
good fucking
Just a
point.
thought.
That's a
here's a
good
follow-up
point.
question to that. So you moved from New York,
Hmm.
Brooklyn, Flatbush, 90.
East Flatbush, baby.
He's Flatbush baby. You do that.
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
one thing that LA has lived up to, and what is one thing that you were completely off base about?
One thing LA has lived up to is the weather. I will say that.
Hmm.
Hmm.
The weather is fucking, there's nothing like it. Right? To move to like a city that you're sort of used to in terms of the hustle and bustle, but then like the fucking, like I think a year ago or 2 years ago we were at the beach on Christmas. Like what the fuck is, doesn't even make any sense. Doesn't compute still, right? What don't I like? You got time? No. Nah. Things are closed too early, which is something I think I'm getting used to. I loved going to, going dancing and things like that. In New York, shit would be open till 4,
That's
right?
crazy.
You can serve until 4.
Hmm.
But being out here, I kind of got used to it. When I first moved out here, I was going to the club at like 12:30, like I'm used to in New York, right? And then in an hour, they start playing the songs to make you leave the spot. And I'm like, what the fuck is happening here?
Yeah.
2 o'clock, and then I gotta go the fuck home.
Do people just sleep in more in New York, or is there because there's no commute home? Like, how
We
do they
be out,
manage?
we be outside, bro. Like you'll stay at the club till 3:30, 4 o'clock,
Mhm.
and then go to brunch the next day, like regular. Like
Uh,
wake up the same time and go do your Sunday.
Dude, if I'm out till 3, I'm like, this is fucking crazy. I don't know what's going on. I'm like, I don't know what got me here, but the next day, I'm taking the day off.
Yeah,
Like, I'm just
yeah,
Yeah,
chilling, dude.
that's
yeah.
we've been programmed like that, dude, because we shut down at 1:30, and
Yeah.
but when you're in New York, and me and my dude Javi, we went to New York together, and we were out till 4, and we were able to get around town at 2 a.m. And I think that's a huge part of it, which is that there's public transportation, so there's less drunk driving. There's still
Yeah.
drunk
Yes,
driving, I'm sure,
yes.
but that's like an issue because I know like West Hollywood has tried to push the limits till 3 a.m. or 4 a.m. and it keeps getting shot down. And
Um,
in New York, yeah, we were drinking till 3. My dude Javi stepped on some dude's Tim's. Uh,
mm.
is that a thing, dude? Like stepping on Tim's, that's a sign of disrespect in Brooklyn.
It was always a sign of disrespect. Step on any type of kicks, but like that shit has calmed down a lot. But Tim's though, those scuffs are not easy to get out.
I say, I think Tim's in
So it's like a
particular,
toss up.
yeah, you don't want
Yeah.
to piss off somebody wearing
You don't
Tim's, dude.
yeah, you don't fuck with somebody's Tim's. You feel
Yeah.
me? They brought those out of the closet. Probably that day, bro. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
We
Um,
have a question in the chat on YouTube. It's a quick one, actually. Tammy Greens asks, concerts in Canada
What's good,
2024
Tammy?
question.
100%. 100% really trying to do Toronto.
yeah, you
So
are.
after hearing that story, hell yeah, Toronto. Where I'm moving.
Canada? Yes, I'll be there.
I am moving. No, I do want to do shows in Toronto. King Idavine and I are dropping an album March 22nd.
Nice.
Haven't said that shit anywhere else, so it's kind of cool to say it out loud. And then of course, immediately after, or somewhat immediately after, we're trying to tour. So Toronto is definitely on that list for us to come. I think we did like one show in Toronto years ago, but
Mhm.
like it's been a minute.
Okay,
Tammy, I got you.
dude, you're going national. You're going international.
Oh, your boys done toured a lot. Yeah,
I hear that.
yeah.
Okay. Before we go, the last thing I wanted to do, I guess two things. I kind of dropped MC V Nasty over there. How do you come up with the name Science?
That's a good question. And I'm gonna give you the real.
Okay.
First, I'll tell you what I told people. I told people that science is the study of all things, and I'm the study of hip hop. That was my shit since like the 20s. It was like, oh shit, that's kind of cool. But keep it true. I was in fucking high school, bro, and it sounded cool as shit, and
Mhm.
that was it. And the Z is in there because I was taking Italian in high school, and that's how you kind of spelt science in Italian. So that's it. I liked it. Science is kind of fire. You know what I mean?
I
I
like
wasn't good
it.
at science. I don't know.
I think it still holds up. It's like picking your gamer tag. You know, like you got to just pick something, and you're gonna have that shit for the rest of your life, dude. Kind of,
That's
unless you
it.
want to rebrand, and you
Right.
better hope it's good in 10 years. You know,
It's the vibes.
I
bro.
think
It's the
science is
vibes.
cool.
Thank you,
Okay.
bro.
And then before we go, we're gonna put our little improv hats on, specifically for you. I know we talked about this, which is doing radio spots and shouting out, and how like it's really annoying.
Let's do it.
Want to see if we'll play some music in the background when we're Victor MC V Nasty. We're gonna get science
You're gonna get dropped?
personalized shout out. So we're gonna see how this goes.
Okay, so I'm
right over
doing
here.
a drop for you guys. Is that what I'm doing?
You can do a drop. You can do whatever you want. Yeah.
Wait, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Like what will you do?
A drop.
All right.
I got 100 guys, 100 clips. How you play that beat and not have me do that? All right.
Yeah.
I gotta. Peace, and love. Y'all are now tuned in to Live and Talk in LA. I'm rocking with my mans Mark and Vic. My name is Science from East Flatbush, Brooklyn, the 90s. Stay tuned. Peace.
Damn.
That wasn't bad, right? I smashed that on the first go.
Yeah, he
That
was
was
so
great.
cool, dude. I
that
feel
was
like
good.
I'd be terrible at that. Here, like Victor, I'll try my best, and you can go too. All right.
Oh man. Okay.
All right. Hey guys, you're hanging out with Mark and my friend Victor over there, and this is To Live and Talk in LA. I mean, I don't know. If,
Nice.
really
You
That was
little-
amazing.
like science.
A little square, but I like it, dude. You
Yeah.
know?
Fucking
Okay.
good.
Yeah. Victor, you want to try?
What you got, baby?
All right, you're chilling with your boys V Nasty, Science, and Mark. This is To Live and Talk in LA. Come through and chill, y'all.
Dude.
Yo, sold. I'm tuning in, bro.
There it is.
Dude. I hope we have some clout with you, Science, and your people and all that stuff, man.
Of course, man. Of course. We got these recordings. We about to post. We about to do all the things. Thank y'all for having me, man. This shit has been fun as fuck.
Thanks for coming by,
Seriously.
man. This was
Yeah,
cool.
man. Any
That's
fucking
always our
time.
goal, is to like make sure like you've never been on a show like this, and
Yeah.
if you want to do it again, doors are open, dude.
It's fire. I felt like a part of something. I
Come on back.
appreciate that, guys.
Mhm.
Victor, where
shall.
where can they find us?
You guys, we are To Live and Talk in LA. You can find us streaming live on YouTube and Twitch. And for social media, you can find us on Instagram, soon to be TikTok. Give us a follow, y'all.
And Science, where can they find you? And what do you want to plug?
You can find me SCIENZE Science on all social media platforms, Instagram, Twitter, and all that kind of good shit. Shout out to King I Divine Science LP, Divine Science 3 coming out March 22nd. The vinyl will be limited edition. It will be in stores near you, so please cop that, support. We got shows coming up. All praise is due to the Most High. APD, peace.
My man. Well, hey, good times per usual, and looking forward to seeing what's coming out, because we'll have you on again, and we'll talk shop. And
Oh, shit,
guys,
yeah.
appreciate you for hanging out. You could have been anywhere in the